The Constant Micro Power Electric Energy Supply System (CMPES) is a revolutionary device developed by the Shakarzai Group, whose aim is to make clean and green continuous supply of energy accessible by all. To realize this goal, the CEO of the Shakarzai LLC, Mr. Aziz Shakarzai, is working on a complete plan to implement this CMPES device system all across the US. In order to efficiently and effectively manufacture, distribute and install the CMPES devices all across the US, the Shakarzai Group needs the following sectors to collaborate. First and foremost are the people who are the beneficiary of the application of the CMPES device. The vision behind the CMPES device is to provide everyone with a continuous supply of clean and green energy wherever they are and whenever they need it. The most important sector, therefore, for us is the people who shall accept and adopt the CMPES systems for their energy needs, since these are designed for their own benefit. The first sector, among many, is the US government that must collaborate with us to regulate the integration of the CMPES devices into the US energy sector. The US government shall regulate all sorts of agreements and contracts to make sure this project of huge scale is implemented with efficiency and transparency. Next up, we need the banks as collaborators to help manage all the financial aspects of this project. There will be a huge number of CMPES devices that shall be manufactured and installed all across the US, and therefore a huge sum of money shall be needed. All these finances must be managed carefully and effectively by banks. Another important sector that needs to be dealt with is the oil sector, including all oil companies. Since the implementation of the CMPES device will eventually make adjustments with oil companies for their role in the energy sector, there needs to be a master contract holding between the oil companies and other stakeholders to ensure the smooth implementation of the CMPES device system. We don't want any unnecessary hindrance or resistance by such sectors that could malign the efficient implementation of the CMPES device across the country. The Chamber of Commerce must also be engaged in this regard. It shall be up to the Chamber of Commerce to carefully select and define trustworthy and quality manufacturers that shall accomplish this task of manufacturing this huge number of CMPES devices. It shall also be up to the Chamber of Commerce to get the project financed by the Department of Defense under the Manufacturing Act. Next up, we also need regulation on the local levels for best distribution and implementation of the CMPES device. In this regard, there shall be collaboration between us and the city and state departments to regulate the implementation of the CMPES device systems. Such a huge project needs to be carefully managed at micro level in order to ensure transparent work on all levels. Another very significant sector in this project's implementation is the electric company that shall be responsible for installing these CMPES. A reliable and huge-scale electrical company that can provide services across the US shall be tasked to perfectly install the CMPES devices in homes and on commercial properties. The electric company shall ensure the proper working and desired efficiency of these devices after installation, making sure there's no faulty installation, etc. Last but not the least, we have to collaborate with the electric vehicle and EV industry. We shall closely work with the EV companies to effectively integrate the CMPES systems into these EVs so there's no need to charge them. This will not only realize their goal of absolutely zero emissions and green energy sources, but will also solve the problem of limited range. With the CMPES device, there will be a constant supply of continuous energy that will never exhaust, hence giving the car an infinite range. The role of all the above-mentioned sectors is equally integral to the deployment of the CMPES systems across the country, and they should all work together to transform the energy sector of the US and put to work the greatest innovation of this century, the CMPES device.